This is Alex Harris for ESBR Boxing. Today, pleasure to be joined by Buttigieg. And Lely, first of all, mate, how are we feeling?
Feeling good, ready to go.
Ready for war. And so today, press conference, and I suppose this is another big event for you, another big show, but a next gen show as well. Are you a fan of these next gen shows?
Yeah, definitely. These next gen shows are good, and it's an even bigger show for me because it's back home. All my other fights have been like Belfast, Leeds, Sheffield. This is the closest one to home, and I got a lot of people coming down to support me.
And I suppose being able to have that additional fan base, do you feel like that possibly adds a bit more pressure to you, or are you wanting to put on more of a show?
Not really pressure, but yeah, definitely. It'll make me want to put on more of a show for the people coming to watch. It's going to drive me to perform even better.
And I suppose, the way you've been progressing so far, it's been very nice and very comfortable. Do you feel like you've really been out of your depth in any of your fights, or really too tested in any of your fights?
I've been in there with tough guys, but these are people that I should be beating. Like, these people I know I'll definitely beat. I know the competition will get harder as fights go on, but not really. Like, there's a lot more for you to see with me in like the harder fights.
Do you feel like with every fight that you're having, you are developing and progressing?
Yeah, definitely. Every time we go back to the gym, we're getting better, and I'm showing that in my fights. Like, we're working on certain things, and it's all coming together. But there's so much more for me to bring.
And as a young guy who's starting out in boxing and just at the early stage of his career, how difficult can it be to be avoiding outside world distractions, like stuff like going out and partying or things like that?
Well, I've never really gone to parties. Like, I eat, breathe, and sleep boxing. Like, boxing's my life. It's everything. It's all I know, really. So going out partying, I've never really done that stuff. All I know is boxing. So it's not hard at all.
And this event as a whole, it's got a lot of good British fighters on it. And are you a fan of these good kind of British 50-50 fights? And I'm sure you're going to be wanting one of them soon.
Yeah, definitely. It's not my time yet, but my time will come. But yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Some good British fighters, and yeah, it's going to be good tear-ups.
Are you happy with the activity you've been having so far?
Pardon?
Are you happy with the activity you've been having so far?
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be my 5th fight in 7 months, so that's good activity, and that's the best thing for me, really. That's what's going to help me improve and get better as a fighter. So yeah, the activity I'm happy with.
After a win, like you've been mentioning, you've been very, very active. But after a win, what is that kind of schedule for you? Do you go out, maybe have like one night of just being able to do whatever you want and then go back to training, or what is it like?
So after a win, I'll have a few days off, just let my body recover, because training's hard, so you need a few days rest, eat a few takeaways, and that's about it, and then straight back onto it.
And training wise, in general, when did you start training boxing?
I started boxing when I was 7-year-old.
Do you feel like that youth coming into the pros as well is just going to be something that's going to benefit you in the long term?
Yeah, definitely. I've got a lot of experience as an amateur, so I've got the experience. I've flown to like Russia, Ukraine. I've been all around like the world, so I'm very seasoned amateur, and that definitely helps coming into the pros.
How fondly do you look back upon your amateur career, and what were some of the key highlights for you?
Going to the European Games, winning gold at Tri-Nations, and picking up 5 national titles.
It's no easy feat, man. It's very impressive, and I suppose do you feel like that has put you in the best stead going into the pros, and do you feel like you've got that kind of pro style still now though?
Yeah, definitely. I've always had a pro style, I'm not really on my toes. In the amateurs, it's more like bouncing your toes. I've never been like that. I like to plant my feet and scrap and have a tear up, but I can box. I'm good at all things, so yeah, definitely. I'm more suited to the pros.
If you are to list 3 attributes of yours that are the top 3, which ones would you say?
I'll say my jab, my defense, and just everything. Everything's good about me. I'm good at everything. I'm all-rounder.
No, that's what you want to be hearing. And do progression-wise, going into the end part of this year, or I suppose going into early next year, is it maybe Southern area titles and that kind of route that you're wanting to go down?
Yeah, 100%. I'm in the sport for titles, so I want to achieve my dream about becoming a world champion. So end of this year, early next year, I'll definitely like to fight for a title of some sort.
And do you kind of look around some of the British lower ranked titles at the moment and think, I could possibly beat him or something like that?
Yeah, I believe I'm the best prospect in this division. I believe in my attributes. I know the work I put in as well, and I don't think it's matched to anyone else. But I've got to keep working, keep beating what gets put in front of me, and I'll get there in the end.
How important is it to have that inner self-confidence and that self-belief?
Very. You know, if you don't believe in yourself, then why are you in this game for? Boxing ain't the right game to be in if you don't believe in yourself. So, definitely.
And when you were starting at, 7 years old, I don't know how much watching of boxing you were doing, but is there any fighters that you were looking up to?
Mike Tyson, but I like to watch like Carlos Monzon, like old school fighters. But watching now, I like Canelo a lot.
What about Canelo?
I like his defense and the way he breaks down his opponents, and like little tricks in the ring that he does to affect his opponent is good at.
Would you say that you are a student of the game?
Yeah, 100%. I'm always learning. Every time I go back to the gym, I'm learning new things. So the best is yet to come from me.
Excellent, and I'm sure you're going to be wanting to headline your own bills at some point, and the Copper Box Arena is a great arena, but if you are to say one venue that you'd love to headline, where would that be?
Headline like locally, like around here, or anywhere. Well, I'd like to fight in Saudi one day, but headline, I'd love to Madison Square Gardens.
What do you make of the Saudi cards, and do you feel like they can't beat them Madison Square Garden fights?
I rate the Saudi cards. I think they're great. It's good for boxing. They're massive as well. You got a lot of people coming out there, and it's where the money's at.
It's definitely. And just one final one from me. Other than, of course, winning in boxing, which is, of course, the most important part, what else is your favourite part of the sport?
I just like training. I like being around my coaches, my teammates. I just like being around the people. We're all benefiting each other. We all help each other to do better. So I just love being in the gym around great people.
Lily, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it, man.